Hello, welcome. This is Liz with Stampin' on the Rock. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a technique called marker thumping. You may have called it, you may see it and think I've heard it called something else. It could be, but that's what I'm going to call it, marker thumping. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all my pieces of cardstock and pieces that I have, and then we'll go from there, okay? So I have Very Vanilla. This is my card base. So it's 8.5 by 11 cut in half. I have a piece of crushed curry, and this crushed curry is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. 5 1/4 by 4 inches. I have another piece of Very Vanilla, and this is 5 inches by 3 3/4. So 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have these two small pieces. This one here is let me think, what did I do? 1 inch by 1 3/4 inches. 1 inch by 1 3/4, and then this one is 1 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay, so those are my pieces of cardstock, and it was Very Vanilla and crushed curry. I set those aside for a minute. I'm going to be using the stamp set Loveliest Tree. It has in here congratulations, thank you, sending heartfelt sympathy, and happy birthday. The ink color that I'll be using today is Cajun Craze and Wild Wheat, and I'll also be using a Cajun Craze marker. Okay, so let's get started with, let's do this part. Let's do the stamping first. We'll do all the stamping first, okay? So I'm going to grab the tree. This is the tree from that stamp set. And I'm going to ink that into Wild Wheat ink pad and just tap. I've had again asked, why do I get ink all over my block? The reason you're getting that is you're pressing too hard. You're pressing down way too hard on your stamps. You just need to tap, 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 tap. If you're getting ink all around the block, you're just pressing way too hard in that ink pad. And it's a challenge because if you're using different types of ink pads, some of them have different material that they're made of, so they're squishier than others. So just tap, tap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off that first layer, and just lightly. I'm not pressing hard. So watch. I'm just super light. That's it. Just lightly. Okay. And then I'm going to take the brush end of the marker. This is just a Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to start thumping. Just thumping all over this tree. And that's it. And when I'm done doing that, and I can do that with like 2 or 3 different colors if I wanted to, but I'm just doing it with the Cajun Craze. So when I'm done doing that, the ink will start drying a little bit. So you want to huff on top of your stamp then. Just open your mouth a little bit, and you just want to on top of it, and that moisture from your breath just re-moistens the ink. And then I'm going to stamp that a little bit toward the top of my cardstock and press straight down on that. And then I'm going to pull that up. And do you see that there's different colors in there? So now I have the Wild Wheat, and I have Cajun Craze. Let some leaves changing in Cajun Craze. I could also flip that over. Let me see. I'm going to try another one here. What other color could I do? How about I did that in wheat. So let's try a green color. Let's just try this. Let me stamp this off real well here, just to give you a different idea. Okay, I'm going to put that back in the Wild Wheat, and I'm just stamping off the first layer. And I'll take Cajun Craze, tap that all around. I'm going to thump that, and then this is the Old Olive, and I'm going to thump that one around too. And then I'm going to huff on it again and press that down. Close this up here. Okay, so this one was done with 2 colors of marker. And now do you see that, the 2 different colors? So again, stamped in Wild Wheat, but I added Old Olive and Cajun Craze to that one. This one I did the Wild Wheat, and I only added the Cajun Craze. So same idea, but you can add multiple colors if you want. Just depends on how much color you want in there. So let's just go ahead and we'll do the Cajun Craze in the old olive side. I'll use that one. Actually, that tree's crooked. That tree's crooked. We're going to use this one. Okay, that side. All right, let's do that one. And then I'm going to take, I already scored, did a score line here. So put that down and we'll fold that. And I'm going to take this one. When you're using the liquid glue, you want to make sure you're not too close to your edges so you don't end up with oozy glue. You don't want that. And then this is crushed curry. Putting that down on the crushed curry. Okay, and now I'm going to grab the wild wheat. This is rustic striped ribbon, and it is wild wheat. So I'm going to grab a piece of wild wheat that's just a little bit longer than the card base itself and trim that off. I've done this many times, but if a bow is hard for you to do, we're going to do a fake bow or a false bow. So let's turn this on this side, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal for this. When you're using Stamping Seal, if you're having a tough time with it getting gummed up, sometimes it's because you're pressing way too hard. Try to just like set it down and just gently pull instead of pushing down and pushing hard on it. Just gently pull back on it. And then I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm wrapping this around and I'm just going to stick it to the back. Like this, okay? And then I'll go ahead and take this. I already have adhesive on the back. All right, so let's put this down on the card base. And we'll press that in there. Okay, so that's our basic card here. Now the faux bow I was talking about. I'm just grabbing an extra piece of this wild wheat and I'm going to slide it underneath. Slide underneath here. And then I'm tying a knot. I'm not doing a bow. I'm going to go around and just tie a knot like this. Use some scissors and we'll trim off that excess. Okay. Let's put this aside for a minute. I'm putting my bow off to the side, but because I'll be putting my words over here. But the nice thing with this is when you put your bow like that, because it's not actually attached to this piece, you could slide it to where you want it. If you decide you want it over this way or here, it's easy enough to do that after you're finished putting your card together if you want to slide it elsewhere. All right. I am using the Sending Heartfelt Sympathy. And with the Cajun Craze. Let's see. Oh, that came out really crooked. Okay, I've said this before. It's very hard to see white or vanilla cardstock when you're using white base here. So I'm going to slide this out of the way and do it right on my table so that I can see where the paper is a little bit better. Okay, much better. Much better. All right, let's pull that back in. And we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back here. And we're layering that on top of the crushed curry. Press that down. We're going to grab some dimensionals. Now, when I'm putting this on here, normally I would put my dimensionals here and here, so across from each other. But if I do that on this one and then put it down here, the dimensionals are going to end up sticking to the ribbon, and I don't want that to happen. Because if it's stuck to the ribbon, it's going to slide up and down. So what I want to do is I want my dimensionals to be above and below the ribbon. So I'm going to take the dimensionals and put one down here. And I'm going to put one up here. Okay, so this way when I flip it over, the ribbon's going to go through the center. And that will hold your ribbon in place. So we're going to stick that on here. And now that will keep my ribbon from sliding all over the place. Okay, So it could be done just like that, but let's add some embellishments, some doodads, all right? So what I have here are the faux glass dots that are in these colors, the Cajun Craze and the Wild Wheat. This is one package I already had open. Where are my little scissors? Here we go. I'm going to grab these little scissors here and I pull this off underneath. And we'll put this one up here. And let's grab one of these green colors here. And I'm going to put that one over here. And again, there's no rhyme or reason, so you can put them where you would like to. If you like to do things in threes, that works too. So I can take another one here, and I can put this down there. There we go. And now you have it in threes if you want to do it that way. And then that's it. That's our card. So this is Thumping. So just a reminder, I stamped in the Wild Wheat color first, the lighter color. I lightly stamped on here, just lightly stamped off. You don't want to press it real hard. You're going to take all the ink off. So I inked it in here, and then I just lightly stamped on scratch paper. Took the brush end of my marker and just thumped. Thump, 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 thump all over. And then you want to huff on it to re-moisten it, and then stamp on your card. And then you'll end up with this. So I hope you like that. Feel free to hit that share button or comment below if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week.